Honestly, in moments like this, I don't even know where to start, so make yourself comfortable, grab some popcorn, and get ready for some fascinating stories. A model came to see me. She's a woman, and her job involves wearing a uniform. Of course, she often wears dress shoes and boots. Her complaint is that her nails are small, yellowish, and she doesn't like how they look at all. Plus, there's a lot of dry skin. Well, in general, you can leave your suggestions in the comments about what happened to her nails. Maybe you noticed something interesting or unusual here. And I'll be showing how I did the treatment and telling you what she shared with me. I'll start with the curette. It's probably the most important and necessary tool for a podologist and for a pedicure specialist in general. Actually, I even recommend having this thing at home because with this magic little digging stick, we can get everything out from under the corners. But not in this situation. In this case, I'm just looking, seeing what's going on in there. I realized that some amazing adventures are waiting for me. As you can see, the skin is thick, the nails are quite deeply embedded right into the folds, and you could say it's impossible to get in there, so we'll proceed with the treatment. Well, the most attentive ones have probably already noticed that there's some strange little island on the big toe and something that looks like the absence of a nail plate. By the way, I'm using the Dr. Alex device for this work. It's the budget version of the Dr. Alex device called the SP100, and people often ask me if it can handle pedicures. Of course it can, and I always give the same answer here. If the device can remove artificial coatings, then it will definitely handle heels, and also the bits I use help me deal with difficult nails. The diamond bit is a large diameter drop shape, and all diamond bits have natural diamond, and I work exclusively with KMIS. I'll try to show pictures, links, and item numbers here wherever I can, but overall you can use a search engine to help you. Let's get back to the features of the big toe. My model saw or read somewhere on the internet that if your nails are thick and yellow, you can solve this at home without a podiatrist and without any problems. It said that you need to file down the thickness of the nail plate with a nail file, and that's exactly what she did. But she didn't take into account that nails have a curve, the so-called arch. And when she put the nail file to her nails and filed down the thickness, she just filed a flat spot on her nails, like a lake in the forest. Well, I don't know how else to describe it. To put it simply, she filed it right here, exactly in the middle, down to a soft state. So there's no nail plate there at all. Basically, the nail is missing in that spot. This is a perfect example of why you shouldn't try internet life hacks on yourself. Now she'll have to regrow everything, with nails only on the sides and nothing in the middle. I tried to explain to her that she shouldn't do that. And just in case, I'm saying it here for everyone. You shouldn't file anything down by yourself. Yes, such a procedure is possible. You need to do this wisely and only under certain circumstances. Here, I applied a product, a special softener for nails when working with an ingrown nail. Mine is from Domex. And in this case, you can already see that the skin is at least somewhat responding and the nails are becoming a bit more flexible. The peculiarity of these feet is that the nails are very, very tightly curved and pressed against the skin. And that's exactly what causes her discomfort. There are also a lot of subungual calluses. What is a subungual callus? Actually, it's very, very simple. There's the side wall of the nail. This side, the one I'm going over with the curette,
and this side wall of the nail
rubs against the skin, against all the skin around it. And there's a lot of contact because the shoes are tight. As a result, the skin reacts. And more of it builds up there, it gets thicker, it gets stuck there, doesn't shed, doesn't go anywhere, it just builds up. And that's how you get packed lateral nail folds. It's an unpleasant situation. By the way, speaking of foot size, I recently posted a live session, so to speak. That's where we're talking with her, and there she says that she has a size 40, foot size. It actually turned out to be 42.5, and that's exactly why she has the following problem. Absolutely all of her toes are covered with a layer of calluses, thick, rubbery skin. That is, everywhere along the free edge of the nail. On the side of this pad, her skin is yellow and rubbery. It's absolutely impossible to get in there in any way. And of course, all of this looks very untidy. Also, the nails themselves are under regular stress. Feeling constant pressure, of course, they will also thicken. And the solution here is actually quite simple. The first thing you need to do is, of course, change your shoes. But clients usually don't like this part because they think that podiatrists should somehow work magic. And so they keep wearing their small shoes expecting their nails to become beautiful and perfect. But I have to disappoint everyone. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. And the approach should be comprehensive. That means changing your shoes. Go for regular hygienic pedicures with a podiatrist at the very least. Clean, treat, and monitor. We definitely need to pay attention to our socks and tights. By the way, I want to mention that my model came in tights that were well fitted and tight, and of course they were squeezing her toes. And yes, nylon tights are very often the cause of similar nail conditions, or even just ordinary ingrown nails. In the meantime, I continue performing all the necessary procedures to at least relieve some of the pressure on these nails. I understand that this won't be the only appointment. We're not trying to dig around here. And honestly, digging around takes a really long time, but looking ahead, I can say that she has already come for a second visit, and I'm ready to show the progress. So let me know in the comments if you're ready to see it. Please note that I'm using blue and even green diamond-coated bits during the treatment. Because there's so much skin, and it's so hard to remove from there, it's very rubbery, so there's no way I could use red bits here at all. I'm often asked why a green grit is needed on a diamond bit. It's exactly for cases like this, because a red or red-blue bit would just slip off. You need a coarser abrasive. And in this case, you see a bit that's commonly called a bullet or something like that. It has a green band, and here it helps me handle the job perfectly. And visually, it even seems to perform a polishing function. It feels like I'm actually using a red bit instead and gently polishing. Of course, such severe cases, in terms of skin density, don't happen often, but still, a practitioner should definitely have these kinds of bits in their toolkit as well. Finally, I check myself to see how well I cleaned everything up, making sure everything is in order. For those who ask what I'm spraying there, it's just a regular skin antiseptic. I use it to remove the dust. I use it to check how clean everything is. And now when I'm satisfied with how I've cleaned, I gently place the packing. In this case, the packing is needed to move the lateral nail folds away from the nail plate and to help relieve the pressure at least a little bit. I'll answer the objection that many of you are already thinking about right away. I won't be using a nail correction system here. I don't see any point in it at all. Because first of all, she hasn't changed her shoes, just as I expected. Because she works in a place where you have to wear a suit, where you have to wear a uniform, where she'll always be wearing tights and shoes. That's why. To such a client, we can offer systematic care. That means she becomes a regular client. And it's not about taking money from the client, but about really solving her problem. Because not everyone can or wants to change something in their life, but they will gladly come for treatments because they feel real relief afterwards. But of course, I expect your comments about how much you're looking forward to the next part.